Some of the technology rules that I use for myself include not checking email and social media until 4 o'clock, disabling all social media and email notifications from my phone, not having any meetings on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I typically reserve those times for doing stuff like this, for thinking about what I want to do with the business, just kind of planning and strategizing stuff. I don't have a TV in the bedroom. I don't use technology during any meal times. And so those are some of the rules that I set up for myself because I realized a couple years ago that those were my problem areas. I constantly wanted to have the TV on in the background. I constantly wanted to check my email to respond to everything right away. I constantly wanted to be on social media, posting all over the place all the time. And in fact, I couldn't even have a meal with my family without having my phone next to me, waiting for it to vibrate or ding, giving me that high of an email or a social media notification. And so I put these rules into place to really make sure that that doesn't happen. And so it's important for you to put similar rules in place for yourself. And the way that you start doing that is by identifying where the problem areas are and where those triggers are for you. For many people, it's checking email first thing when they wake up. It's checking email and social media during meal times. It's not being able to disconnect. It's coming home from work and the first thing that you do is sit at your computer. So try to identify where those problem areas are. Where are those triggers that keep popping up into your life? You may even find it interesting to download an app called Rescue Time. And there are several other apps like this that exist, but when you download this app, essentially what it does is it monitors your technology usage. The apps that you use, the technologies you use, how often you use them, when you use them, and you start to get really interesting visual representations and graphs of how you use these different technologies. And then oftentimes when you look at those representations, you become quite shocked with where your time is actually going and how much time you're actually spending on those different technologies. Start by designating time for yourself that are technology free. Times when you are not going to check your email, when you are not going to be using social media, and when you are going to spend time either with your family, with your friends, or just strategizing and brainstorming and thinking big picture, right? Vision for yourself, for your organization. And those times might be all over the place, depending on what your preferences are. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, instead of checking your email, you spend 30 minutes doing a journal entry where you talk about things that you want to work on, what you want to plan for the day. Maybe when you come home from work, you do something similar. So whatever those kind of boundaries you want to set for yourself, try to identify times during your day that are going to be technology free. Daniel Pink, New York Times bestselling author, recommends that we should have a closing ritual to end the day. Something that you do at the end of each day that symbolizes and signals your workday is over. Maybe you close your computer, you arrange your desk, you kind of put things where they need to go, you plug things in. Some sort of a closing ritual that you can do at the end of each day that signifies your workday is over, technology time is done, work time is done, I'm now going to be doing other things. So try to identify what that ritual might look like for you. And once you identify what you want that ritual to be, make sure it's an ongoing and constant thing, something that you do on a regular basis. Because humans are creatures of habit, and when you start doing things on a regular basis, it'll signal in your mind that it is time to disconnect from technology. Some organizations have even gone to an extreme to do this. There's a Dutch design firm called Heldergroen, and what they do is at 6 o'clock at the end of each day, the desks and everything that's on those desks gets raised up from the ground to the ceilings at 6 o'clock every day. So even if you wanted to work, you couldn't. And then the space and all the furniture there is put away, and the space is used for community stuff. People do yoga, they can do meditation, they can have dinner there. And so this is an organization that really takes that idea to heart of disconnecting from technology, putting everything away, literally raising the technology, the desks, the computers, everything from the ground up via steel cables up to the ceiling. So you couldn't even work if you wanted to. Another technique you can use for yourself to set no technology time is to go into your calendar and actually schedule no technology time for yourself. And a lot of times this helps because we find it more effective when we block something off in our calendar that's designated for something, and then we feel like we actually need to do it. So maybe go into your calendar and set 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, or maybe break it up, 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a day that are technology free. Times where you might go for a walk, times where you might spend 20, 30 minutes just thinking about stuff or asking questions to yourself. And these can be all sorts of fun and interesting questions. You might want to wonder, what does the future of work look like? And maybe you jot those ideas on a sheet of paper. Maybe you're curious about the Internet of Things. Maybe you're curious about leadership and management of the future. So why not pick some of these interesting topics that are out there and give yourself time to think big picture about them without any screens, without any information influencing how you're going to respond to those questions that you're asking yourself. Once you set these technology boundaries in place for yourself, you also want to make sure that you communicate them to others so that other people can respect and understand your boundaries. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Check out futureofworkpodcast.com for more content. And do me a favor, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or whatever your preferred channel is. Thank you.